Tim, I think maybe Michael's still within earshot here, but he talked a lot about how he envisioned the year going this way for him with Toronto and with the national team. It seems like he's caught a second wind. Not to say that he hasn't played well before this, but he's playing out of his mind now. Have you noticed a change in him?
I've not. This is the same Michael Bradley that I've known for a long time. He's been on an upward trajectory. When you're the captain of the club and captain of your country and the son of the national team coach, so there's a lot of criticism that falls on your shoulders, and I think he's handled it magnificently. He's been one of the greatest captains I've played for. He's just always there. He's always putting in the work. He's always grinding. And for me, it's just great to see him get player of the tournament and to see him lead his team to the top of the league and to lead this team where we're going. It's good to see a guy get his just rewards for the effort he puts in.
Tim, first of all, Bruce and Michael were up here talking about, you guys all know the stakes of obviously what's coming these next few days. Is the goal 6 points? Is it 4? What is it? And then
6 points is obviously, I think we'd always like to get 6 points, and as we get closer, we need to win at home. I think that's a no-brainer. But we also have to flip-flop one of the results that happened in November. World Cup qualifying is about winning your home games and at least getting a point on the road. And for us to get 0 points in those 2 games early on, we have to obviously find a way to win away from home. And I think Honduras would be a great spot, and it would put us in a really good position to either qualify that night or hopefully the next.
Tim, despite how the season's going in terms of club form, you're still with the national team. You're still keeping it same high level. As we've seen with Gigi Buffon and with many goalkeepers playing long and longer past than regular field players, how long do you see yourself going on beyond just not only playing for national team after this cycle, but also beyond in terms of just your career overall?
In regards to my club career, I think I have 2 more seasons left after this. That sounds about right. I'm sure there'll be some people who want me out before that, but if I can keep myself fit and healthy at this stage, it's just about trying to stay healthy and be on the field. Takes up all my time trying to do that, as I've mentioned before. Internationally, who knows? God, I'm trying to get through this game and the next, and then it's all about getting selected and hoping we can all be a part of leading this team to World Cup and then getting to World Cup after that. Who knows?
Great, Will.
Hey, Tim. To the extent that a national team can have form, seeing as how you take time off and new guys come in and out, is this team in a place right now that it hasn't been in a long time after 8 months unbeaten, after a Gold Cup title? Can you remember a time maybe where there was this much cohesion or confidence in the group as there seems to be at the moment?
Yeah, you bring up a great point. I think the form that you're talking about is probably led by the coaches and the coaching staff, just in terms of the expectations of how quickly we come together and form a team when we come into training camp. The makeup of this team I keep talking about is probably the best that I've seen, and the reason for that is we've got a really good nucleus of young guys. I know Christian gets all the attention, rightfully so, but we've got a bunch of young guys, Jordan Morris, Kellen Acosta, kids who aren't afraid to spotlight. And then I think a lot of credit goes to the older veterans in this group. We've got some guys who are superstar names who are getting older, who have, under Bruce's tutelage have decided that they'll take any role that's offered to them and help the team. And I think with the national team, you don't see that a lot. When you're an older superstar, most guys just kind of throw their hands up and say, I don't need to travel, I don't need the headache, I need to play every minute, and that's not what this group is about. So I think from top to bottom, the team is structured really well to not only be a team, be a good team, but to compete at every level.
And for Tim, as far as Michael Bradley goes, obviously you've seen him, you've known him since he was a little. How young could you see kind of a leader in him? Do you see a captain in him pretty early on?
Yeah, Michael's always had a good sense of leadership, but he's had a sense of hierarchy as well. Being thrown out, I trained with him when he was, I think, 16. At my first World Cup training camp in 2006. always been respectful. He leads by example. He's doesn't mix his words. You know, he's a football first guy. He's intense. He's very competitive, not just in training, not just in games, but all the time. And I think, you know, to be a good leader is very hard. You have to wear it all the time. There's no days off in that regard. And I think that's what stands out most about him. He is very steady. You know, there's never an off day with him. He's always thinking football. He's always trying to make the team better, whether it's a small conversation, you know, in the lunchroom, or whether it's, you know, getting into a guy in the dressing room. He's always on, and I think that's important to be a captain.
Tim, we are expecting a full crowd this Friday night. What are the words that you can express to the fans, knowing that it's important to gain those 3 points?
Well, you know, I think the fans are probably more hyped up and excited than we are right now. You know, we're trying to focus in and put the game plan in place, and you know, they know what's at stake. I'm from this area. You know, I played for the Metro Stars. Some people probably don't even know that, but you know, this was a pipe dream, this stadium in Harrison. You know, and for it to be there and to actually be playing games, you know, there's no crowd like playing in front of your home crowd for me. So they'll be excited. They'll be ready. You know, I don't think I need to speak much about hyping the game up. It'll be a full house, and they'll be ready.
Tim, question for you. John Brooks is out, DeAndre Yedlin's out. Omar Gonzalez and Villafana, they're just getting into their seasons. What kind of challenges does it present not to have your first back line together, and how do you overcome these challenges?
I'm very comfortable with the guys that I'm playing with. You know, we didn't have Brooksy, we didn't have DeAndre in the Gold Cup. I thought we were rock solid. And again, you know, I point back to the Trinidad game and the Mexico game. Bruce calls in 23 to 25 players who he's prepared to play because, you know, we can get a result, and we did that against Trinidad and changed the team a couple days later. And you know, people thought it might be a fluke, but there was a purpose behind it. So whoever steps in on this roster is expected to perform, so it shouldn't be a problem.
And just one last one for Tim. You're going to go against, again, Keylor Navas this Friday. Could you talk about just how he's shown, with how you've dealt with big club politics at Manchester United, how he's been able to show, because we all knew that he was a great goalkeeper already, but him to show the mental toughness to endure with that at Real Madrid, all the rumors surfacing, and if he's shown you something that even you didn't think he had in him, is probably us didn't think he may have lasted this long at Real Madrid.
I don't know. They packed my bags and kicked me out of the big clubs. So, you know, it was impressive for a guy from CONCACAF to go to a team like Real Madrid. You know, particularly in my position, I thought it was brilliant. And of course, you know, the jury was always out. Like, you know, how is he going to perform? And he's only gone and won a couple, I think, Champions League. So. He's done really well there. He's a very good goalkeeper, and he continues to grow in stature. So, like I said, I sit back and watch, and I'm just very impressed by what he's been able to achieve there.